This weekend, Ryan is using red light therapy and he's studying humans, and we find Joe and Mac's long lost brother. I'm Ryan,
I'm Andy.
and this is Weekend Rental episode 224. Well, everybody, welcome back to a very special episode. We've secured our place as a nation as the second highest grossing medal leader in the Winter Olympics. Understandably behind Norway. I mean, they invented skiing, so
Yeah,
it stands to reason they took the medal count, you know?
I feel like it was invented for like Norwegians were getting their ass handed to them, like running with Jamaicans, and then they're like,
Right.
we need our own thing.
Right. We can ski. We can ski with guns. We can ski for a long time. We can jump skis. Not to downplay their dominance, because it's impressive, but
The
it's funny to watch us get our asses handed to us by another country.
and essentially like one guy, right? Like this
Yeah,
Kleibo guy just like won pretty much every cross country event
yeah.
possible. So
Without breaking a sweat, essentially.
yep, yep,
And then we won hockey for men's, which we were the underdogs for. But as our president pointed out, they're allowed to go to the State of the Union address, but we have to invite the women. So super,
yep,
super nice take on that. So
yep. Yeah, that was a good game. I don't watch a ton of hockey. Obviously, from Minnesota, it's like huge here.
yeah,
But it was a good game. The problem is like I don't think I could ever watch a regular season NHL game now because it's like there's that much on the line, and they're
yes.
playing like so fast, and it's just like get the puck, get the puck, get the puck all the time.
Well,
You watch a
it,
regular season game, and it's like so boring to watch because they're just kind of passing it back and forth for the most part.
and that's kind of like I watched part of it, but like that's kind of the bullshit, right? Is like between the Canadian and U.S. teams, it's like most of the NHL, right? So it's like, well, these guys are playing and they're professionals, but if they lose, they're still going back to their like very lucrative contracts. Where the rest of
Yep,
the world is like, no, we're still fucked for the most part. You know what I mean?
yep, yep.
So I don't know.
I had to laugh because I mean during the game, Canada pretty much dominated us on like shots. Like
Yeah,
our goalie was the only reason why we won, right? And that poor guy has to fly back to Winnipeg and play for Winnipeg.
yeah,
So I'm guessing he's, you leave a hero and come back an enemy, I guess. But
yeah, yeah. It's a tough one. Like, well, we were not, from what I understood, slated to win that, right? Like it was heavily favored Canada, and like we somehow snuck it out. But
yeah, I mean, they definitely have like the best players right now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Well, it was cool. Like another Olympics come and gone. Like I always appreciate the Winter Olympics more than the summer ones because it's like, well, I can watch people just like do track in my backyard. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it was cool to see. Snowboarding, I feel like, didn't get the best showing. Like they cut to a lot of the commercial shit and like didn't show runs, and that's what I'm there for. But whatever, it's fine.
yeah. And there's some new snowboarding events too this year, right? I'm not sure what they were exactly,
Maybe.
but yeah, I found it a little bit. I mean, obviously we didn't do as well as probably we thought we were going to either
Well,
in the
Japan is
snowboarding
like
stuff.
dominating snowboarding and skateboarding because they have like dedicated teams. These last few years were like dedicated teams. I should context for anyone who doesn't know the sports outside of the industry. Like, as someone who grew up skateboarding and snowboarding, you understand that the industry doesn't follow the Olympics because the industry follows the industry, which also includes drugs. Um, and that's just part of what those sports are. And then there's Olympic skateboarding and Olympic snowboarding, and they're very different. But Japan takes a very disciplined approach, and they've been dominating in both skateboarding and snowboarding because of that. Because they treat it like this sacred thing for the Olympics, and that's not how the core industry follows. So like, it sounds weird, but like you never have your best snowboarders and skateboarders in the Olympics because of
Right.
drugs. I'm sorry to say, like weed is drugs, but like it is true. Like they're not there, but like Japan treats it like we're gonna fucking destroy you, and I mean the proof
They
is
have.
there. They have, yeah. From a medal count, they've got the right program,
Yeah.
which is cool. I'm not gonna knock that. So
It- to play the devil's advocate here a little bit, these Asian girls are pretty tiny people overall. That I think that when you're talking about like revolutions and spinning,
okay,
I think the lower the lower body mass that you have, lower like just center of gravity and everything, it's easier to spin, right?
yeah.
So I think they definitely have an advantage in that regard too.
Yeah.
But just
Speaking
like
of
Michael Phelps is pretty much an alien when it comes to swimming, right? Like the guy's a freak. But
I was gonna say this is a great out of context clip, but yeah, you've got a point. I mean, height is a huge factor in snowboarding. Like 5'6", like the shorter you are, the better you are.
yeah,
Absolutely, that's so true. So, I went snowboarding, not in the Olympics, but since we last recorded. So both my kids have been
Wow.
dying to go back out skiing, snowboarding. So we're like, well, we got a long weekend. We're gonna do the family trip. We'll go do like a day skiing, right? Well, my daughter and my wife are like, well, what if we don't go skiing and you guys just go snowboarding, And I was like, well, I mean, I guess that could work because it's cheaper and sure. So I took my son snowboarding. His first time on a real snowboard, on a real ski hill. He's 12 years old. Second run down the bunny hill. I'm teaching him how to carve. He catches his backside edge, heel side edge, falls right in front of me, and I was like, man, that was a good turn. Caught your edge. And he's like, I think I fucking broke my arm. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I think I broke my arm. And he starts crying, and I'm like, okay. I was like, do you need me to help you out of your board? He's like, yes. I was like, all right, let me get out of my board. I'll get out of your board, and we'll walk down the hill. So 30 minutes on the snowboard hill. Took him to the ER. Fractured his. It was a radial fracture, they said, and it was near the growth plate, which I don't know what the fuck a growth plate is. I guess you're still growing, so you have a growth plate. So now they're like concerned about that and like watching it to make sure it's going to heal good. Like everything's like it should all be good. But the sad part is like, we were having a good time, and the fall he took is the fall you take 1,000 times as you learn to snowboard, right? Like everybody catches the heel, everybody catches the front. You eat shit, you get up. It's just like freak accident. So super unfortunate. And yeah, they instead of putting a cast on him, even though he's 12, they're like, well, it'd be better if he had a brace because he can take the brace off and take a shower. But like now we're fighting with, no, you're an idiot. Your arm's broke. Put the brace on. Like he just wants to fight us on it. So.
yep. Oh gosh, that's kind of terrible.
It's not great. Like it was super fun to share with him, and we were having like a great time for the first 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But then I also realized something horrific as a mid-40s. I'm almost, I'll say 40-year-old because I don't want to age myself more. But like, as someone who had not, like, I snowboarded avidly for most of my like teens through late 20s. Getting into boots and having to like bend down and strap in every time and like have your posture be something weird that you were not accustomed to sucks so much ass.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna take my kids snowboarding in the future, I have to buy new gear. Like I have to buy the step-ons because like it's fine if you're going most of the season, but if you're not the person who is like regularly doing that, like your your body and your joints are not accustomed to that, and like it sucked. Like I could still snowboard fine. I'm not gonna say I was good. I was fine, but holy shit, did it hurt for like 3 days after, and I was only up there for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and probably just the gait of walking in them too, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
Because it's
walking
totally
out there,
different too.
and he was on the bunny hill with like the magic carpet, which if you haven't seen one of those, it's like a conveyor belt, which works great, right? Like if you're a skier, you lean back in your boots. Well, if you're a snowboarder, you're like weirdly posturing between two bindings and like trying to stand
Mm.
up, and it was not fun. But yeah, super unfortunate. Like what turned into like a super fun day for us ended pretty quickly, and let's get a bone x-rayed and get some Taco Bell if it'll make you happy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, the fact that like our age, if I was going to go do that, I would assume that that was going to be me that was going to break an arm.
right, right. Well, yeah, and like I told him, I was like, don't feel bad about it. Like I fell that way and the other ways like 100 million times. Like you just put your arm down weird. Like, and I told him I was like, that was a great carve. Like you did a great carve. You just got your heel side edge, and I don't know. It's unfortunate. And you know, I'm someone who has shattered their forearm snowboarding off of a jump too. So it's like shit happens. But
Yeah. Has he's done skiing before?
no, no,
Okay.
no.
So
Yeah, he's done snowboarding on like toy snowboard, so he thought he could snowboard, and it was like
mhm.
it's not the same thing. So
Yeah. Huh. Well, hopefully he bounces back and overcomes, the
yeah,
to go back and try again type thing, right?
yeah. I had the ski patrol check him out before I took him in. They're like, "Are you gonna go snowboarding again?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Dude, we'll try it next year. Like, it'll be fine." Like, it was a freak accident. So, and you know, it's a fracture, not a break. You know, he's not. It could be so much worse. So,
Yep. And he gets to go to school and act cool that he got that doing snowboarding.
yeah. Well, he told me his friends like to punch kids with casts. So it's
Oh,
like, don't let them know you have one. And if they punch you, tell me and we'll
hmm.
kill them. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to possibly do, but, you know. Yeah.
Somehow bullies have gotten even more evil, apparently. Huh.
Yeah. So that was fun. What have you been
Huh.
up to?
Well, not not spending a lot of time outside, I guess.
Right.
So
It's been not great.
yeah, it's been really icy and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of indoor stuff, I guess. Um, Playing board games like usual.
Hmm.
Uh, the one that been having a lot of fun with the kids, it's called Kids Chronicles, and it's an app-based board game, where the board and the cards and kind of everything in it have QR codes that attach to an app, and then you kind of go through the story. It's kind of a mystery thing where you have to go to different locations, talk to different people. You get different inventory. It's almost like a point-click adventure game,
Okay.
except you're using QR codes to go to different things and do different actions.
Sure.
So that's interesting. The kids like it just because it has an electronic video game part to it.
Yeah.
Overall, pretty simplistic. It's good for kids, I guess. And the other one we were playing with the kids is a game called Wandering Towers, and it's like these little cardboard towers that you stack up on top of each other, and you have little wizard meeple guys that you have to get to a certain place, And basically, there's two different actions. You can move your wizards, or you could move the towers. And you can pick different sections of the tower, however high you want to go. If you want to move the whole tower or just the top or whatever. And what you end up doing is you trap the other wizards inside of different layers of the tower.
But you
So
cap them essentially.
yeah, and then you're moving the towers around, and it just turns into a giant game of memory to figure out where your wizards were because it's
In the
constantly
vertical
changing.
stack. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
and the end point, the goal that you need to get to is constant. Every time one wizard gets into it, it moves farther away, kind of farther around the circle. So that's moving as well. So it's by the time you think you're going to plan, you have a plan like, oh, I'm going to get here. My guys are here. Somebody's moved them, or the end goal is moved. So it's constantly just when it's your turn, you just gotta live with what whatever it is, and hopefully you remember where your guys are.
Sure.
But it's kind of a good chaos in that way because
Yeah.
was multiple times that somebody was like, "Oh, I thought my guy was there." Nope.
Yeah, that's a lot to remember, like tower height and like levels, and it's kind
Yeah.
of fun though. The chaos in that, it seems cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of been it as far as board games. Some of the smaller card games here and there, but yeah, still staying inside.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be like 40 degrees Thursday, Friday, so
Yeah.
should be warm, right?
Yep.
You can take your kids out snowboarding. It works out well.
I know. My kids have gone for school. They went skiing the past 2 years. And my daughter didn't make it past the bunny hill the entire day. So,
Sure.
but she was happy. She was fine
My
with
kid
it, I
either.
guess. So,
You know.
yeah.
Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm more worried about like exactly what you said is like you fall down once and it's like, well, am I getting off the mountain?
Yeah. Well, it's that thing. Like with any type of sport like that, it's just like one wrong turn, right? So. Speaking of one wrong turn, I watched the movies. I don't know how familiar you are with the Silent Hill movies up to this point, but they made a new one. It's Return to Silent Hill. And if you played Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2, the first 30 minutes of this movie seem like they might have figured it out. And then the next, I don't know how long it is, but whatever's after that, you'll quickly realize that they shit it all down the tuber. Because, boy, did they fuck that up again. I don't know why they can't get, Resident Evil aside. I would argue the first Resident Evil movie, while not great, is competent and enjoyable. There has not been a competent and enjoyable Silent Hill movie. And the first 30 minutes of this movie is that. And then it just goes into like some incoherent, like time jumping, like psychobabble bullshit that just ruins whatever possible tie-in you had to the franchise and makes you wish you'd never started this piece of shit. Like I was really excited, like at the 30-minute mark. I was like, they finally did it. Like, this is a movie that's going to work. And then you get to the end of that, and my wife looks at me and she's like, so this person did that thing and that didn't mean... And I'm like, yep. Like, none of it mattered. It was all terrible. Like, we should not watch this. And, yep. Another bad Silent Hill movie. And I looked at Metacritic and it was like 20%. Like, even Crowd was like 20%.
That's not good.
No.
I can't say I've even really played much of the games either, but just through osmosis, it just feels like Silent Hill is not a good adaptation to a movie. They seem much more like atmosphere and
But it
straight
could
up
be.
like being in that place.
Right. It could
Yeah.
be like a good B-movie schlock. And I feel like the original Silent Hill was a game that played into the fact that draw distances, frame rates, and like fog really utilize the limitations of the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
But why they can't figure out using those limitations to make like a good tight knit horror movie is beyond me. Because like they figured that out in the '80s, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was just really fucking terrible. It's probably the best of the Silent Hill movies, maybe, but still just awful. So there's that.
That's too bad. Do they have any weirdness to them? Because I mean, obviously the endings to Silent Hill movies or games can be kind of all over their place and goofy. But do they do any of that?
Yeah, they do it in the Silent Hill way. But the Silent Hill way is like schizophrenic and like not conclusive, which is also not satisfying in a movie sense, right? Like they tried like multiple narratives and I don't know, it sucked. Like the pacing sucked, the acting sucked. The CG was crappy, which you accepted up to a point, but like the latter like 40 minutes of the film you're just like this is a miss, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I wanted to like it, but I ended up hating it.
They're making a new game though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like that whole PlayStation event was like, wow, Konami is back into video games, I guess.
No, they're not.
Right?
They're into pachinko machines. If the biggest news you got out of that was Mega Cat is like making a game for PlayStation, that's about it, right?
Yeah, that wasn't a. I haven't heard great things about that game either, but Konami had a lot of stuff there. I mean, that new Castlevania game, which looked all right.
Sure.
But yeah, kind of re-releasing Metal Gear stuff again. It's like, well, okay, you've done that already. You just remade 3.
Yeah. Do you think that's just because they know they can't like continue the franchise without Kojima? Like, so they're like, well, we'll just make compilations because people like them, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 4, was stuck on PlayStation 3, so like that is kind of an achievement to get it on something else sometimes. But having to like bring out the first 3 again, it's like, well, why?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. The state of play did not get me excited. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very PlayStation-y stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, like I think they're going to be banking a lot on Marathon, which is another live service game.
Yeah,
and
good luck. Yeah, everybody's wrote that off. Like,
yeah,
everyone's playing Arc Raiders. Nobody gives a fuck about Marathon.
Yep. And I mean, you got that High Guard thing that seasonally is done already. Launched a month ago, and it's done. They've had Concord already. They shut down Bluepoint, who was doing awesome. I mean, that Shadow of the Colossus remake was great, and from what I understand, the Demon's Souls thing was good.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, let's make a God of War live service game that we can't possibly make heads or tails of, so we got to shut you down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that whole, like, between PlayStation and Xbox, like, they have no clue what to do from a first-party perspective, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox has no clue what to do from a anything perspective, which I guess we could touch on, like, Phil Spencer left, retiring, which... Say what you want, Phil Spencer was, like, the biggest champion of that console until... the reorganization of what became the Xbox brand within Microsoft. Like it's not surprising he's leaving because I'm sure he feels stifled in that he doesn't have a voice or a platform
Yeah.
to move forward. And I'm all for new people taking a step forward, but it's fuck, it's a dying platform. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's it seems like he was forced out, right? Like it was a we'll let you retire type thing.
right.
Because the second in command that was very much like this is the person that's probably going to be running Xbox was basically let go.
And she is out. So that's like a she is not the successor. He's out, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. But like, what is the Xbox identity? Like, what is the game footprint? And that's what's been lost in the last 5 years of like the reorganization of okay, we acquired a bunch of shit, but we don't put out anything, and Xbox is everything. Which I'm not going to complain about Xbox is everything. Like I like playing on my Fire Stick, I like playing on my PC, I like playing on my Xbox. But if you aren't putting out games that are exclusive to those platforms, you are nothing. So they're just like this hollow. They're basically the Tubi of gaming brands is how I feel they are. You know what I mean? Like they're not providing you anything you've sought out. They're providing you things that like you already are familiar with, and that's not a successful platform. You know what I mean?
No, it's pretty tough to buy all that stuff and then at the same time devalue the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like they've done. Um, but it's going to be an interesting time. You know, the person that took over is very much in the AI space.
I saw that, which is scary, right?
Yeah.
So we're now pushing
There-
AI
there's-
with the most devoted, hardcore, developed, tried and true third-party developers that you've all acquired, and you're saying we're gonna push AI assets into all of that shit, right?
Right.
And that doesn't sit well with me.
No, I mean I've been for a while now. Like obviously the creative side, a lot of people have been against AI, right? If you're generating creative assets, but even like even the code too, to some extent,
Right.
you're kind of giving up some of creativity, some engineering in it. But I think it's going to be much more customer facing AI, where it's the gamer doing the input and they're building the AI to create whatever you want out of it, right? Not necessarily their teams using it
Sure.
for what their team wants. Which that's a scary dark road that obviously none of the other gaming companies are doing right now. So that would be a hard pivot to somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like Xbox has been on the ropes, right? And it just feels like a very significant final coffin or final nail in the coffin for what Xbox is and what a console is. Because they've not, like, we know a PlayStation 6 is coming. Xbox has said something's coming, but is it? Like, maybe they just develop for PC and, like, I don't know. Doesn't seem
Yeah,
good.
I mean, y- for the most part, you had a sense that Phil Spencer kind of had an anchor into what Xbox meant, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now you let somebody in who's, I don't know if you saw that, but her tweets were basically like, she basically doesn't have a gamer tag, like hasn't really played much for games at all.
Sure.
And her Twitter was just an AI response to everybody,
Yeah.
basically talking about how well versed in Chrono Trigger she was and all this stuff. And it's that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And a CEO or whatever, somebody managing something business wise doesn't necessarily need to be the
Sure.
pro person in it, but
But you got the feeling that Phil Spencer was a fan first, right? Who
yeah,
worked his way up and like appreciated it. And I feel like the narrative was he was stifled by how that was reorganized because of the price tag of the acquisitions. And he's touted it as like, well, it's time for me to move on, but I think he saw the writing on the wall, right? Like this
oh
is
yeah,
Microsoft having invested way too much money, stockholders saying this doesn't make us money, and he's like, "All right, I'm out." You know what I mean? So
yeah. When they were doing like mandates on what profit margin they needed on the stuff that was driving
yeah,
the price way above competitive, it's like, well, what are you supposed to do then?
and you push Game Pass to $30 a month and basically
Yeah,
bottleneck what's coming in, and one from the best value in gaming to the most questionable value in gaming. I don't know. Like I have a coworker who's switching. He's canceling his Xbox Live and going to the PlayStation one. He's like, well, I didn't realize like how many old games are on here. I'm like, good for you. Like if that money's worth it for you, but like those games are on my shelf. I'll pop them in if I want to.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
convenience to me is not there. I still think I'm not I'm not canceling my Xbox Game Pass subscription yet, but it's an ever increasing thought in my mind of like, is this worth it? You know what I mean? So
yeah. It's not like the oh my gosh, I'm saving so much money from all the new games that are coming out.
right,
You know, I might feel that with Forza Horizon, but that'll be a good 2 weeks, and then it'll
right,
be like, well, what's next, right?
yeah, yeah. It definitely feels like I'm less and less certain of their future, and I don't know. Like if you went back 20 years, like they would be out of the business, right? Like they just wouldn't be throwing cash at this. So it makes me wonder how much longer Microsoft will actually continue to be like it's a brand, and the sad downside of that is like what happens to Bethesda and all these
Hmm.
Activision, like everyone they've acquired, like sell them off, don't just like disband them. You know what I mean? So I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, that would be terrible to do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, even zooming out, just software all in general, right? Like the AI stuff is just destroying
yeah,
everything. So it's when you're running a company, I'm guessing you can't ignore that stuff for very long.
right. Yeah, yeah, it's not great. Meanwhile, in the Nintendo camp, instead of them doing anything worthwhile, they're like, hey, remember the Virtual Boy that we didn't acknowledge forever and removed from our console history? It's back now, and for $100, you can buy a shell and put your Virtual Boy into that. I bought the shell, because of course I would. Um, it's a Virtual Boy shell. You put your Switch into it, you look into it, it works probably better than the Virtual Boy does because like it's reliable and the screen's not going to go out. It is still a god awful way to play a game. Like you put your face in there, it fogs up because of course it does. Your face is in like a
Hmm.
fucking plastic furry mask and it's uncomfortable. My wife walked in, she's like, "You look so fucking cool." I'm like, "Fuck you." And yeah, I don't know, like I stand by my comments of like the 3D aspect of the Virtual Boy doesn't add that much, and I agree with that. Um, fuck, I don't know. Like, I'm glad I bought the thing to experience it, but it's still the Virtual Boy, right? Like, those are very basic games. They're first generation games. The console never got out of its first year. They included not Mario Tennis, which is mind blowing to me because it was a pack in.
Yeah.
But they have like WarioWare, like Galactic Pinball, Telltale Boxer, some Japanese game that's like a corridor shooter, which is fine. But it also hurts your eyes in the way that the Virtual Boy does, and it's all uncomfortable to play in the way the Virtual Boy is. And I just kept wondering, like, why the fuck did you not just include like a 2D docked version of this? Because it doesn't do enough to add to the gameplay. Like, it's neat, but it's a shitty cash grab, and it's uncomfortable at best. Like 15 minutes at a time is what I recommend. And I don't know how to feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a sucker, so I paid the money for it, but like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I I hope they do circle back and put them up there 2D.
Yeah.
I don't think they. I mean, they might, but that would just be kind of a nice gesture, and Nintendo doesn't usually do that for things that don't involve money.
Right.
But I mean, obviously they saw the demand for selling tchotchkes, and this
Yes.
is
It
something
is
that.
one of those. It's a tchotchke. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice in theory in that, like, they've kind of committed to, like, releasing the full library to everyone across the globe, which is cool. Which is, like,
Yep.
14 games plus whatever demos, right? But as interesting as the Virtual Boy is, like, its biggest claim to fame is, like, a early prototype controller to be the GameCube controller, and then like some shitty like pseudo 3D. Like, the pseudo 3D does not make or break the game in any way in any of these games, despite what people might say. And I don't know, like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, it feels more like a cash grab than anything relevant or worth playing. You know what I mean? Because even like Wario is great. Without that slight hint of 3D, though, Wario is still great. It's still a
Oh
great
yeah.
platformer, and you don't need the pseudo 3D. And
Yeah.
that's probably the best example for the console, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's the part that I struggle with is the locking behind the thing because they very much could just make it 2D and put it on a screen
Yeah,
and be fine with it. But on the other hand, it is really cool that they made something. Yeah, I mean, this is the company that's also releasing the talking flower that basically does. I mean, that's
yeah,
whatever that is. At least this is a thing that's like it does the thing that makes it a Virtual Boy, right?
yeah.
So
And I
it's
mean,
neat in that
technically,
respect.
you could stare at one of the screens and play it on your handheld or on a TV. Like a 50-inch TV, you could probably get by, right? But
Hmm.
I don't know. And I wish they would have done like some more options, right? Like, does it have to be red? Couldn't it be yellow or blue or white or grayscale or like? It's a simple
Super Game
balance
Boy
lock.
options on it.
Right? Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I don't
I
know.
want bezels on it.
Just like my wife calling me out, like, "Oh, you look so cool." And I'm like, "Eat shit." You know what I mean? Which I know I look like an asshole. Everyone who plays a Virtual Boy looks like an asshole. So I don't know.
I
I'm
mean, at least you're not like the guys on on like those meta like sunglass commercials where they're actually trying to make people look cool.
right.
Right?
Yeah, I know I look like a douche. It's the whole point. It's a Virtual Boy. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, the only other thing I had to talk about on my list was I watched the 28 Days Later, or 28 Years Later, to the Bone Temple. I saw the sequel. Apparently, this did horribly in theaters, so the third one might not happen in this trilogy, which sucks because it's a great horror movie. Um, it basically follows from the 28 Years Later first one because they were shot together. And it follows a group with Jimmy. Jimmy's the leader. He's a kid from the first movie who watched his pastor father, be eaten alive and like sacrifice himself to the clan or his congregation. So, like, of course, in his demented, like, 8-year-old mind, that meant that his father worked for Satan. So he's basically, like, started culling his own congregation of, like, Satan worshippers, where he's like, well, it's clearly Satan's the answer. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, we should. So they're all, like, just horrible deviants who just rip apart people in the name of Satan. And it ties back into your characters from the first film. Very gory, very gross, a little bit torture porny for my take in what I think the 28 days, weeks, years saga has been. Still a very good film. Really liked it. And it ends off with, I'm not going to spoil it, comes full circle. So it would have been great to see full circle get another film because it ties back to the first movie, but it sounds like because it grossed so poorly, which I kind of attribute to the fact that, like, you did two of these 1 year apart in the cinema, and we're conditioned in post pandemic to, like, shit takes 3 years, right? Like, you don't tell a great story and then put it out a year later when everyone's like, I
Yeah.
know I can watch that on streaming in 2 months. So I think that's somewhat their fault, not the movie's fault. But really good. And I'm sad to hear that it didn't do well, and now that this third one is in limbo, because I think, like, I don't want to ruin it, but, like, Cillian Murphy's back, and, like, I would have loved to have seen how that played out, because 28 Days Later is my favorite zombie movie of all time. I think it's, like, smart. I think it's well shot. I think it's realistic, and I think these sequels played into that. 28 Weeks Later is bullshit. Throw it out. But to see how that story with him back in it would have played out would have been huge. And it's a bummer that that might not happen because of how this grossed, which when you look at audience reviews, like, it's up there, right? Like, everyone loves it, but it didn't gross enough, so I think we're all screwed is what's essentially
Right.
going to happen.
Well, especially when you tease somebody like that. I mean, you can't put a low budget film together when you have him coming on board, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm, like, super pumped for his Netflix full-length final film of Peaky Blinders. There's a Peaky Blinders, like, full movie coming
Oh,
out.
there's a movie for that?
Yeah, it's gonna wrap it up in the next 2 weeks. I think it takes place during World War II. They said, but yeah, like, there's so many great scenes in this movie. Like, there's a doctor character who's essentially like the Bowen Temple is his house, right? Like, he finds corpses, finds ill people, skins their bones, builds, like, a temple, and that's, like, his thing. Like, it's a graveyard of sorts, or a tribute to the dead. And then, like, these Satanists find him, and they're like, are you Saint Nick? And he's like, what do you mean? I don't know a Nick. They're like, why are you Saint Nick, you know? He's like, oh, you mean Lucifer? He's like, oh, no, I'm not Lucifer. So they're like, the lead guy is like, well, we're in a bit of a pickle, because I told my clan that you're Saint Nick, and if you're not, I'm going to have to kill you. You know, he's like, so how about we work out a deal? So then, like, you know, he's like, okay, we'll work out a deal, you know, and, like, he's like, well, we'll come meet you tomorrow night or whatever. So, like, there's this great scene where he's this long-term survivor, this doctor character, and he stages it all. He's got, like, a generator, he's got a record player, he's got an Iron Maiden album, so he plays, like, Mark of the Beast, and he, like, comes out and does, like, the whole dance and, like, fucking drugs him and stuff. And, like, it's the greatest, like, horror, like, Iron Maiden stage show you've ever seen. And yeah, it was an awesome movie. Like, really, I mean, it kind of, like, it's a little over the top, but, like, I feel like it sticks with what made the first movie good, in that it's an accurate interpretation of, like, what people who survived that apocalypse would be like, right? And, like, the actions they would take, and the you know, like, I don't know, like, it's rough to see it fall flat in the way it did, because I think it deserves so much better. So
Well, especially, when they rebooted it, right? And then now that they made a second one, you just think that it's going to be a franchise, right?
right. And after 28 weeks later was like so bad and like so Hollywood produced and like just lost the plot. It's like they found it, it wasn't perfect, but like the Boneyard kind of is perfect. Like it's I didn't mind 28 years later. It was okay. But it strikes the same vein as like 28 weeks later or 28 days later. So yeah.
Is that streaming on anything yet? No, that's in the theater, right?
It
Or no?
might be coming to streaming. I found it on Plex, so
Okay.
it
Yeah.
was tail end of theater. It should be streaming soon, I would imagine. So if you can find it streaming, watch it. I'm curious on what Roadside Research is.
Oh, that's a video game on Xbox that I've been playing with my wife. Do you know like these supermarket simulators
Mm.
type games,
Yep.
trading card simulator shop, like all that stuff? It's kind of crazy how people just are just copy and pasting. I mean, that's kind of what video game is now,
Sure.
right? It's just doing the same thing. It's kind of wild how exactly copying that is, because it's like just using the same rendered people and the same basically everything. That's what this game is. However, the twist on it is you are aliens here trying to research how humans act,
Okay.
and you have to run this gas station, and do different things to try and gain research on the humans without them noticing, and calling basically the Men in Black to
Sure.
come and get you. It's a lot of kind of like taking pictures of them when they're not noticing, taking their garbage and like recycling it in a certain spot, and doing that type of thing, all while doing the same stuff for your stocking shelves and running a cash register and pumping gas for people outside. So it's a lot of like a work simulator. I don't know why I enjoy those. This one it doesn't quite have the amount of depth that it quickly becomes like, oh yeah, that's what this game is. And the loop is not fast enough where you'll end a few days and you still don't really have the next upgrade or the next thing to buy. So I don't know if I can completely recommend it yet. It's obviously in early access like a lot of these games are. So,
Sure.
but it's fun enough. I don't know how you would do this single player. I mean, there would just have too much going on. It's with two people. There's already a lot of stuff going on. But
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it like 2-player only, or can you do up to like 4, or what's the deal?
yeah, I think it's up to 4. Yeah,
Okay. That sounds kind of fun.
and then 4 might be a little bit too. I don't know, not enough going on maybe to stay on top of it.
Sure. Yeah,
2
those
to
are always
3 is
kind of
probably about the
interesting
right.
games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's takes me back to, do you remember the Lemonade Stand, the Lemonade game?
Yes.
Way back in like Apple II days.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of obsessed with that game. I don't know why, because it was an educational game for like schools to use, I think.
There's probably less probing in that game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there's probably a variant of that at this point. Lemonade Stand is a human trafficking or something.
Not in Trump's America. Yeah. That sounds cool. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for something new on Game Pass these days because it is so
Yeah.
dry.
The aliens are kind of fun because they just wobble around and they're kind of fake. Like really awkward to control, and you just have like a paper mask attached to the front of your face, pretending to be human.
Random human
I
character.
think the funny thing is like at random times you'll like splort out a bunch of your juice on the floor. So then it becomes like a huge problem where you have to go clean up that before people notice it, right?
Nice.
You don't really notice sometimes. So like they'll be like in the middle of the store. It'll just be green goo in the middle of the store, and everybody's like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?"
It's juice, people. Juice.
Yeah, the men in black come and chase you down through the woods and shoot you. And
Nice. Sounds fun. Boy, we're in
I would not recommend it on Xbox.
No? Needs a keyboard?
Yeah, I'm playing on PC. My wife's on Xbox, but that basically means I'm running the cash register to type in all the numbers and all that
Oh,
stuff and
sure.
do all that because that's would be rough to do on a controller, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, should we move on to staff picks?
Yeah.
I'll go first. I put Lego Party, but this is more Netflix gaming beta. Um, I think I mentioned, well, we talked about it. I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast, but like Netflix has pushed out this gaming beta, and it seems dependent on like streaming device because not all my TVs offer it. Like newer ones do. But if you have a Netflix subscription, there is a beta option. Like if you scroll down through like their top tens, TV shows, movies, whatever, and there's gaming, and they've got a pretty decent selection of games. The one that we've been really enjoying though as a family is Lego Party. And it works very similar to how like Jackbox would or something like that. Like you select it, there's a QR code on the screen, everyone scans it, download the app, your smartphone is your controller, and you just play the game. And it's a lot of fun, and Lego Party is a lot of fun because it's Mario Party with better commentary and no bullshit. Like there's no you thought you won, but this guy got like 4 stars for being a dickhead, and um, it's really good. So we've been playing a lot of that. We played several Lego Party rounds, and we've been really into Pictionary because you can use your phone to like draw and stuff, which is a lot of fun. We've been playing some like there's like a lunar lander type game that I've been playing that's like solo, and it all works very seamlessly for the most part. We did have one Lego Party game where at the final 2 rounds, the audio just disconnected and got like super distorted and demonic. Didn't ruin the gameplay, but ruined the commentary, and yeah, it's really pretty sweet. Like for something that's included in the streaming subscription to also have like this fun like gaming add-on that the whole family can just jump into. I'm pretty down with it. Like it kind of makes me wonder though, like if they aren't gonna like tier it up at some point to be like, well, you have to pay for this tier now because games are included. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
for the most part, it works really seamlessly, and is the controls are for a touch screen game are surprisingly good. Like much better than what I've experienced with other things. So I'm kind of a fan of it, to be honest.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Like, I know like the Jackbox stuff works really good for something like that, but like if you have like a direct control of a character type thing,
Yeah.
obviously that defaults kind of to the virtual stick thing that
Yeah.
I don't usually like on mobile, but this works pretty good.
Yeah, me either, but it's surprisingly responsive and good. I mean, it's all based on you understanding the concept of like how far to go with your thumb. Like my wife really struggles because she's like, "Well, I can't do it." Like, but I'm like, I think you're just overextending like your thumb draw. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but for the most part,
And that's usually the problem because there's just no like
there's no
physical
feedback, right?
feedback to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is a problem here. But Everyone's been liking it. My daughter's been like crushing it for the most part. She just like nails the mini games and stuff. Um, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to play a Mario Party's type game too, where like the mini games are actually good for the most part. Like, because I feel like you look at a Mario Party, it's like 80% shit, 20% fun, and this is like 80% fun, 20% shit. So,
Hmm.
and then yeah, I'll be curious to see what they add to it too. You know, there's a couple like I've seen a game on there that seems to be like a little bit like two people working together, that sort of thing. I've seen some other ones that are like Guess Who's Lying. There's not a lot on there, like 8 games, but for an included beta in something I'm already paying like $7 a month for, it's fine. So
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I when I go on mine, it's like a whole section
yeah,
dedicated to it, and it seems like there's a lot of stuff in there now too. And they've been doing this for a little while. It hasn't been on TV. It's been on
the
computers
mobile,
for a long time.
yeah,
Yeah, or mobile. Yeah, and I know they've like have been surprised that the lack of traction that they've been able to get on it. So
yeah. But when you
I,
throw it on your
I
home page, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I think they're probably a little ways away though until they say that they can claim that people are going to pay extra for the games.
Right.
I think.
I hope.
Yeah. But yeah, I need to check it out more. I haven't done too much. You have to download an app then, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's a Netflix app, so everyone like scans the QR code and then it, like instantly throws you into the controller. But yeah,
Yeah.
I really recommend it, and I really recommend Lego Party. Like I said, I played several games in there, but Lego Party is so good as like a family game. Um, Pictionary is a lot of fun too, and like there's other things, but Lego Party is just like probably the most video game-ish of the ones they have. I think if they could land a Jack Party and get that in there, that would really help. But
I thought they did on I thought I saw one of them like Fibbage or something like
yeah, I
that
thought I
maybe.
saw it too, and I couldn't find it in my list. But I thought they had one as well. But it's very cool. It's super intuitive, super responsive. We've been having a lot of fun with it, so
Hmm.
highly recommend.
Yeah. The other hurdle for me anyways, my kids don't have any phones yet, so that's going
Yeah,
to be, and then we have some tablets laid around, but that's not going to work for big controls,
right.
right?
Let's get your old iPhones out and scan it.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? What's your pick?
My pick is a movie I rewatched because when I was younger, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know if I have the same reverence that I did then, um, but the movie is called The Secret Window, and it's Johnny Depp. It's
Yep.
a Stephen King movie,
Yep.
kind of a thriller with a twist. That
This
type
is
of
right
movie.
before everyone hated Johnny Depp, right? He did
Yeah,
this.
pretty
He
much.
did like that Cowboys. Well, not Cowboys and Indians, but
Lone Ranger. Yeah.
yes. And then he was canceled. Right.
Yep. Yep.
I saw this a long time ago. Holds up.
It's all right. I mean, obviously, I knew what the whole thing was to begin with, so it changes how you can ever see that movie again, right?
Right.
And I don't think it holds the secret as well as I thought it did the first time, maybe. But yeah, it's about kind of an author who's in his own like cabin, and then he's accused of getting plagiarized. Somebody stole his story,
Yep.
or yeah, he stole a story from somebody, and then the guy is basically just harassing him about it. But yeah, it's very Stephen King-ish, and not in the Maximum Overdrive type way either.
Let's hope not. Yeah.
But It's all right. I can't say it's the most amazing movie anymore. I think there's probably bigger picks that I would have picked, but in the pantheon of those like oh what a twist movies, that was up there for me.
Yeah. I forget how the twist ended, but I do remember watching it.
Yeah,
I remember the
but yeah,
window.
mm-hmm. The Secret Window. Yep,
Secret window.
and it's tough too because it also has the John Turturro, who is once he started doing the Transformers movies, he was just a goofy guy after that. Like you couldn't take him seriously anymore, right? It's kind of the same reason why I can't take Hugh Jackman. Like once you become Wolverine or something like iconic like that, it's hard to see
Right.
him doing anything else, right?
Yeah, that's
But
true. Yeah, I should rewatch that as well because I do remember seeing it, but I'm foggy on how most of it played out because it was so long ago. Because it was like what, like 2012?
oh, it might be even earlier than that. I was thinking late 2000s maybe.
I'll go really quick.
Yeah, it's 2000s hairstyle, that's for sure. As far
2004.
as
Yeah, damn, that
oh
was a long
yeah.
time ago. Yeah, that was like right in like his resurgence with all of those films and stuff.
Mhm. This would have been this would have been right in Pirates territory then,
Yeah,
probably.
right in the trilogy
Oh.
before it went bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to look
What's he
at it.
doing now? I don't even.
I don't think he's really come back to acting after the lawsuit. Like he won, obviously, but I think he's just like, ah, fuck it. He's playing guitar in whatever band he has with what's his name, Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
There's a yeah. It's tough to watch a husband and wife who are struggling dynamic when Johnny Depp is on screen. They're like, oh, this takes
with
on a
the
whole
whole
new
thing.
context.
Yeah. He was cleared of all charges, people.
Yep.
Should we move on to the weekend rental?
Yeah.
All right. So the weekend rental, of course, we play a game for a given system. Andy and I will play them and give our opinions as to whether we personally buy, rent, or burn that game. The system this weekend rental is the Super Nintendo, and we're talking about Congo's Caper, which I had to look it up to be sure, but like I thought was in the Joe and Mac universe. It's a Data East game. It very much is. This is considered the prequel or precursor, even though it came out after those
Hmm.
games, to Joe and Mac. And Congo's Caper has you following a young male protagonist who, when injured, instead of like morphing down to a smaller version, becomes a primate. And it doesn't fully play like a Joe and Mac game, but it is very much a Joe and Mac game. Like you encounter the same bosses. What is there, like two or three stages, which ends in the final like T Rex battle that is in like every Joe and Mac game before it opens up
Mm-hmm.
into Select a Stage, which is awesome. Like I love Select a Stage, and I love that when you get to Select a Stage, those levels are kind of abbreviated, so you have like this really like fun sort of like different but short 4 segment run through a level sort of vibe. The game is very simple. Jump, attack, hold up, and do like a super jump. But those are kind of really the only power ups in the game, other than like some invincibility and extra hit points. So it's pretty on par with Joe and Mac for the most part, minus those power up elements.
Yeah. I to me, I thought it was pretty bare bones for a platformer for a Super Nintendo game. This felt like
Sure.
an NES style, you know, especially like the super jump, like pressing up to jump higher and stuff. That seems like something that should have been. We've had jumping standards at this point
Yeah.
when this game came out, right?
At least make it a double jump instead of this up and jump. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And the club was all right. It just does not feel good. Like the attack the hit range is not very big, and oftentimes an enemy will be in a certain spot that it's like I should be able to, I have a club, I should be able to reach this guy, but it just not the attack animation does not hit this in this way, and that part does not feel good to me.
Yeah, and it does like the same grave mistake, in my opinion, that Joe and Mac games do, where like you can play it appropriately and cautiously and get through a level, and then you get to a boss who has in a ridiculous amount of hit points, and you have 1 to 2 hits on yourself to figure out how to beat them, and that doesn't seem fair when they take 6 to 10 hits depending on the boss. You know what I mean? Like that's always what ruined Joe and Mac games for me. Is like you can learn the rhythms and the patterns and the gameplay to get to the boss, and then like if it takes you 6 times beating the boss or playing the boss to figure out the pattern, that becomes less fun, right? And that translates here for the most part.
Yeah, and pretty much the second boss was already like, wow, this is quite a step up in variety of patterns that you need to
Yes.
memorize.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. That second boss sucked. Like there was what 4 distinct patterns, and like I don't know. Your hit window is so tight. Like it feels like half a pixel at times. You know what I mean? Like even
Yeah,
fighting the T Rex, like if I would step just like a touch too far, I would get hit. And
yeah,
I don't know. It's got weird level design too, where like it just doesn't seem to mesh. Like it's cavemen, you're a monkey person, and then there's like these weird like blue floating orbs that feel otherworldly, and I don't know. It's not bad game design. It's just like not cohesive game design either, right?
right. I mean, it's got like just kind of like the collectible gem vomit of points or whatever it is. I mean, I guess it becomes lives, right? It's coins, but
Right.
and then the vertical exploration, it wants you to do to kind of go up and backtrack from there and do all that, and that's all in a million different games too. It just
Right.
does not feel as good in this one because of his jump and mobility.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. Like the vine level is very cool, and like
Hmm. Hmm.
waiting for them to grow. But yeah, it all feels very sort of tired on the hardware that it's on. This is one of those games where like I have a hard time reviewing, because if I had gotten this as a kid as like a birthday present, I would have mastered it and loved it. But at the same time, it's like there's so many better options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It, there's nothing I can like really fault it for, other than being like kind of bland and overly difficult. But I feel like that was also the blueprint for like almost every platformer that wasn't from Nintendo at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's still a lot. Even the games that we've played on here that we've certainly come across a lot that are in 16-bit that are like this as well. So it's somewhat generic. I think it's better, than the Bubsy style,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not nearing anywhere close to even the top tier. I mean, I would take Joe and Mac above this for sure, but
Yeah, and there's also some bullshit too with like multiple paths, and like, okay, I went this way and I'm missing this stuff. So you're like, well, I'm gonna drop down and like come back, but it caps you. Like, nope, you missed that. It's gone for good. And it's like, well,
yeah,
just let me scroll infinitely left and right. You know what I mean? Like, why do we have to do that?
yeah.
So
But that's not fun either because the respawn on this game is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it is. And for the most part, like it's not a big deal because like the club does well enough, but there's also a lot of sections where precise or like half a pixel type jumps are important, and with a rewind feature on the Switch, manageable. But if I was playing this
Yeah.
on original hardware,
Oh gosh, yeah.
brutal. Like game stoppingly brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean even when you're doing the super jump, the horizontal movement is different than what
Hmm.
a regular jump is, so it's tough to even gauge in your mind on what jumps you can handle in certain
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah. It's it's adequate. I'll give it that. I'll probably go back and beat it with the power of rewind, but I don't know. I just yeah, it felt like Joe and Mac light to me is kind of how it came off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it very much seems like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think you would give it on the Byron Burn scale?
I I would probably give it a rent. I mean, it's on the low side of a rent. I don't think it does anything tremendously great. I think it could strive better as a 16-bit game, but it's not doing any harm the way it is. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably give it that too. I'd liked it a little bit more than you did, I think. But I think knowing that, like, without the rewind feature and the difficulty and, like, the mastering and, like, just sheer luck into not getting clipped by bullshit to progress, like, this would be a pretty hard game to recommend as a buy. So it feels like a solid rent. It's
hmm
competent enough, but it's also designed in that Joe and Mac fashion to be stupidly challenging in segments for the sake of longevity that doesn't need to be in a game like this. You know what I mean? Like it was in
yeah,
games of that era, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, I like the short levels
yeah,
that you can breeze through. They're pretty nice. I mean, if you want to collect things, you can spend a long time in there. Otherwise, you could just get right to the sign and be done with it.
yeah. When I was like trying to remember where I first played this, and like I swear to God, I have like an at games like Sega Genesis like console clone somewhere that had this baked into it, and that's where I first played it because like it came with Joe and Mac in this game and stuff. But otherwise, like I would have never heard of this game.
Yeah. You got to thank Data East for this cottage industry of like caveman games, right?
And shilling them out to anyone who will license them.
Yep.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
think there is a game out there that has this power up system where you start like as a single cell organism and you get yourself all the way up into a
And Spore,
human or
right?
something? Yeah, yeah. I suppose Spore is kind of like that, right? Yeah.
Another failed game, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. That's about all I can say about it.
hmm
The music is pretty lackluster.
Uh, is it two-player on screen at both times? I guess I didn't check that,
I
but
did not check that either, but probably if it's like a Joe and
yeah.
Mac clone, I would assume, right?
hmm
Yeah.
That could be fun, but
Or frustrating, one of the two.
yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. You can reach out to us at our email address at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. You're going to want to check out the Geekade Patreon network. There's a lot of good podcasts on there. And we do a movie podcast on there, which we're about to record.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a good time.
Ghoulies 3, the best time.
hmm They knew when to stop, right?
Nope.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us. So be kind, rewind.